2014, the Humane Society of the United States reported that every year, thousands of animals are rescued from miserable situations. The heartbreaking reality of this is that that is only a small fraction of all the animals that are going through turmoil. My purpose today is to persuade you to donate your time and volunteer at your local Humane Society. I'm credible to speak to you on this topic because I have done extensive research and I myself have volunteered for many years. Today, we will discuss the needs this organization works so hard to produce, a solution to help with these needs, and the consequences and benefits that they in America will face if we don't volunteer. These animals need shelter. According to Oxford Pets, there are 70 million cats and dogs in the U.S. that do not have a reliable source of shelter. They have no way to stay warm or stay cool, or shield themselves from the elements like rain and snow. Oxford Pets explained that shelters are doing what they can to house these stray animals, but out of those millions of cats and dogs, they only take in anywhere between 6 and 8 million a year. They also need to be rescued. Some animals are in dangerous situations, and they're in unhealthy and unfit environments. They rescue animals from puppy mills, fighting rings, animal entertainment like greyhound racing, and animal hoarding and other abuse and neglect situations. In 2014, the ASPCA predicts that there are around 10,000 puppy mills in the U.S. today. They're very notorious for the neglected dogs. The puppies aren't properly cared for, so they suffer from diseases like heart disease, kidney disease, and epilepsy. That's just a couple of a long list. They're kept in overcrowded and unsanitary conditions, like a bunch of cages stacked on top of one another, and they're not cleaned out. And the females are overbred. They're bred one litter right after another without any breaks. Dogfighting is another common issue. In 2014, the Humane Society of the United States explained the harshness of the dogfighting rules. There are many injuries obtained during dogfights that are very severe and sometimes fatal, and they're not taken care of. They don't take them to the vet. Some dogs are sacrificed if they're too nice and they won't fight because they're not making any profit off of them. So they'll be used to train the other dogs and just be ganged up on and attacked until they die. Animal cruelty and dogfighting national statistics found that in 2007 alone, approximately 250,000 dogs were placed in fight pits. They also provided insight on animal hoarding, which is a habit where people hoard a bunch of animals, and it's an unhealthy situation for not only the animals but the humans as well. The Animal Legal Defense Fund estimates that approximately 2,500 animals are hurting victims per year too. Studies found animals are found dead or suffering in 80% of these animal hoarding cases. In order to put an end to this, the Humane Society of the United States has an animal rescue team that goes out and they work with law enforcement to help these animals and eliminate animal cruelty. They're also taking many legal stands to strengthen many animal laws, animal rights laws, and to protect animals and prevent abuses. As you can imagine, most, if not all, of these animals were living in unfit, unhealthy environments. Animals living on the streets have no reliable source of food and water. Many starve because no one is there to take care of them. They're susceptible to illness and disease because they aren't being kept up to date with their shots and they can't take them to the doctor if they're sick themselves. Others that are neglected are sometimes starved, suffer from things like ingrown collars, they have wounds or illnesses that aren't treated right, and they just aren't cared for properly. The Humane Society makes sure their animals are in the best hands possible. The Humane Society of the United States in 2014 informed us that they have kept veterinary clinics to help keep these animals healthy or nurse them back to health. They keep them on a well-regimented diet and have trained staff that come in and work with them, and they also have volunteers that come in one-on-one and help look after them. These animals do not have voices. We must do our part in order to help these animals live healthier and happier lives. Let's put an end to animal abuse and neglect and help find them a safe haven and peace. All the homeless animals, help them find a home. Do your part by volunteering. You don't have to go in and physically volunteer at your local Humane Society. You can do your part by donating a couple bucks. That helps with feeding the animals and their veterinary expenses, since this is a nonprofit organization. Even if you could take a few minutes out of your day to report cases where animals may be in danger, every little bit helps to get these animals off the streets and out of dangerous situations. and finally, and hopefully, into the loving arms of a new family. You can get involved today by donating, reporting, or meeting these following requirements to volunteer at your local and humane society. You must be 16 or older. If you're not, accommodations may be made. You must be able to work at least 2-hour shifts, follow the shelter rules, be able to work with others, and of course have a positive attitude. If we work together, can you imagine how many more animals will be saved each year? Numbers will increase dramatically. The more animals we help, the more awareness we will spread about the growing issue of animal abuse and animal neglect. And the more awareness we bring, we can help bring all this to an end. If we don't help, there will still be many animals out on the streets in need who will be suffering just as they have been before. And animal abuse will still go on and may even grow if people continue to get away with it. And animals will never be given the chance to know what it feels like to be loved and cared for. Today I have explained to you why helping these homeless and battered animals is so important. We have discussed the means of volunteering and how it will help benefit these animals. To wrap things up, I stress the consequences and benefits of volunteering and helping out with local humane societies. Hopefully I convinced you to donate your time and volunteer at your local humane society. You can find your local shelter at theshelterproject.org and click on Find a Shelter link. For more info on what humane societies are all about, feel free to visit the humanesociety.org. Thank you for your time.